Everybody, this is Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Symphonic Rain. Uh, I'm just gonna stop apologizing for getting voices wrong, cause that's just how it is. And yeah, um, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and please like the video too, because that would mean the absolute world to me. Now, let's jump in. I gave a powerful nod, and strongly pledged to do so in my mind. And to end the exchange on a lighter note, I jokingly mimicked Fal's earlier words. But why did you feel the need to tell me this all of a sudden? Because we're partners? Or did you just want someone to listen to you? Let's see. Probably neither. Then why? I just wanted you to know, I guess. Fal had already gotten onto her feet, getting ready to leave, so I didn't see what kind of face she was making right then. As I went to get myself ready to walk her home, I noticed Forney sitting on my coat, staring at me as she said, "You have to do your best." "Yeah," I whispered, inciting Forney to give me a satisfied nod, then disappear. I picked up the coat and walked up to Fal, waiting at the front door. "We're off," I called out to Forney, not sure whether she was still listening, then opened the door and departed. Okay, so it's the 11th. I suppose that's it for today. We finished rehearsing and started to clean up. Our talk yesterday had affected us both positively. While my official reply to Ari was still up in the air, it had taken a considerable weight off of my shoulders. While it wasn't like anything had changed, the fact that the girl in front of me knew about my current problems provided me with a sense of security. In turn, I knew of her problems as well. Good luck at work. Will you come have dinner tonight? Nah, I'll pass. I didn't need to go to Coper to have Fal's cooking, and we were spending enough time together as it was. I see. Then I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, see ya. After such intensive, albeit short practice sessions, I always felt sort of listless. Just when I was thinking of getting something to drink at the cafeteria before heading home, I ran into Torta. Chris! Going to the cafeteria? Didn't you eat in the practice room? Yeah, I already ate. I just felt like getting something to drink. Huh? On your own? That's the idea. Mind if I join you then? I don't, obviously. Then let's go. Okay. The unusually serious atmosphere foreshadowed Torta's intention. Undoubtedly, there were things she needed to talk to me about. She'd been getting letters from Ari, too. After all, if Ari had disclosed enough to her, there was no doubt I'd get asked about it. So, what are you planning to do? It happened after I placed 2 drinks on the table and sat down. Her tone was composed, without even a hint of condemnation. It very nearly betrayed nonchalance. Just to be sure, how much do you know? Just that she suggested you two break up? Excuse me. I see, so basically everything. Okay, how was I supposed to reply to this? I had yet to decide what to do about Ari. Although everything regarding Falsita had been set in stone at this point. You have no intention of halting your performances with Falsita, do you? I don't. Okay, then that means Ari... I haven't decided anything regarding Ari. No, that means you have. I haven't written my letter to Ari yet. I don't think Fal has anything to do with this. She does! To me, she doesn't. To Ari, she does. I don't know the details of Ari's letters to you, but I was the one who told Ari everything about you, so I'd like to know. Is that okay? Of course it is. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Then I'll start with what I'd like to know most. Torta produced a smile and continued. Do you like Falsita? I'm not asking whether you're in love with her or not, but what do you truly feel about her? Well, truth be told, I already know the answer. I just want to hear it from you directly. Just to make it clear, we aren't lovers or anything, but we're partners. And if you ask me if I truly like her, I think I'd have to say that I do. There was no point in hiding it. There was no way I could not like her. I had learned a lot about her and her goals, and it was a pure desire to want to assist her in realizing them. I see. I want to do something for her, anything that's within my power. Then I don't have anything more to say to you. Hey, what did Ari tell you? She told me not to condemn you for it. With that, Torta got up on her feet. Do your best. I've been hearing that a lot lately. How do you reply? I will, of course. Very well. She forced that same self-important tone that Forney always used to. But then I remembered it was supposed to be the other way around. Torta didn't long before her. Ever since we were small, she would use that mature tone to scold us, mostly to compensate for Ari, who had always been the shy type. Looking at it from that angle, Torta and Forney might be quite alike. Oh, by the way. Huh? What is it? Where was that, trattoria she worked at again? Are you going? For no particular reason. I just felt like visiting for once. I'm wondering what kind of food she makes. But I suppose she isn't the one actually cooking. Actually, she might be. Some of the things she said to me implied that she was supervising things in the kitchen. Oh, really? Then... Want to go? I wouldn't mind tagging along if you'd like. Yeah, that might be nice. She told me she's working until 6 today. Shall we go before that? Sure, I don't mind. I'll be rehearsing until then. I'll just wait at home. You don't need to rehearse? I already did. Can you meet me in front of my place at around 5:30? Sure thing. Is it close? About 5 minutes on foot. Got it. But I don't want to get drenched. Can we meet up at your room instead? Of course, that's even better. Then let's go with that. With that, Torta left the cafeteria with her usual smile plastered about her face. I woke up to the sound of a knock on the door. It seemed I'd fallen asleep while loitering around on my bed. Coming! Sorry I'm late! I forgot something at school on the way home, so I had to go back and pick it up. Huh? It's that late already? I turned around and noticed the clock was pointing at a little past 6. I'm 30 minutes late. Chris, were you sleeping? He was sleeping! I hadn't noticed Forney in the room. Her voice came from someplace in the distance. Isn't Torta going to come in? Forney asked, despite knowing I couldn't answer. I ignored her and replied to Torta. Just a little nap. I got tired of waiting. Oh, please. I could tell from your face that you've been sleeping for hours. He's been sleeping for hours. Oh, who cares? Hold on. I'll get my stuff. Yeah, you're so hopeless. That's my line. If you had been awake, we could have left right away. Oh, I give up. I left Torta at the entrance and returned to the room. You're only going out to eat? Is Torta not coming in? We're just eating together. I smoothed out some of my bed hair, put on a coat, and returned to the entrance. Too bad! It's been so long since our last visit. We're off. Leaving just like that, we stepped outside. I suppose the shift is already over, huh? Yeah, we're probably too late. I see, that's too bad. Did you want to see her? Not in particular. As we were talking, we arrived at our destination. It came a bit sooner than expected. It's pretty close by. Yeah, I found out only recently. Myself. Asino introduced me to it. You don't say. And just when I considered the possibility we might meet Fel right as she was about to leave, she came out of the trattoria. Huh? Chris? Good evening. We sort of decided to have dinner here. I stepped aside to let Torta, who was standing behind me, come up front. Hello. Oh, hello. At that moment, Fel staggered forward a few steps, as though having been pushed from behind. Oops. What's wrong? To my surprise, Asino appeared from behind her. Huh? Asino? I'm sorry. I happened to run into him inside. Hey, it's Chris. You came for dinner. Yup, with Torta. Hello. Hey. Didn't you say you wouldn't be coming today? I didn't plan to, but... I wanted to come. I see. However, my shift has just ended. No, that's not... You were about to go home, right? That's too bad. But we'll just eat together then. Okay, I'll be taking my leave then. Please enjoy yourselves. Please visit again soon, Asino. Sure. See ya. See you. Torta casually nodded her head in response. It would have been too much to stop Fel from going home and have her join us for dinner. And since it seemed that Asino just ate, I figured I should just go together with Torta as initially planned. See ya, Asino. We're going to eat. Huh? Oh, yeah, see ya. Asino answered inattentively. He didn't seem too interested in talking to us. He hurriedly said his goodbyes and walked away. After watching him go, Torta and I went inside. Wow! This is a pretty nice place. Torta's first impressions were surprisingly positive, but after that, she didn't say much anymore for some reason. Dinner went by just shy of complete silence. She had been enthusiastic when she first tasted the lasagna recommended by Fel, but there had been a strange mood floating around after that. Is something wrong? Huh? No, it's nothing. You can't fool me. You've been acting strangely all night. Did you not like the place? That's not it. There was just something on my mind. Like what? It has nothing to do with you. I'm sorry. I sort of ruined our first dinner in a while. That's okay, you didn't. Anyway, that's how it is. Don't worry about it. Got it. Torta had gone back to her usual cheerful self, but I was still left with a poor taste in my mouth. I decided to let it slide, as I probably wouldn't be getting any answers by pressing her anyway. I'll be going home now. Yeah, me too. See you tomorrow, or I guess not. Until next time. Yeah, see you next time. I felt a pang of remorse at Torta's words. Despite that, I had always been able to discuss any things with her, I was able to discuss many things with her today. Alright, it's the 15th. My practice sessions with Fel had begun in December, by Natalie. Natalie, she had officially become my partner for graduation. Ever since then, I'd practiced more than I would have ever imagined being capable of, and before I knew it, we had entered the final week. Rather than feeling pain, I felt more fulfilled being able to mean something to someone. My thoughts loomed to the sacrifices I'd had to make to arrive at this point. Ari probably wouldn't read a letter of mine. Oh. If anything, it was a viable excuse. Oh, wait, no. A letter of mine, even if I sent one. If anything, it was a viable excuse. but she would still know whether the letter itself had arrived or not. I was probably afraid to send the letter, afraid of betraying Ari even more than I already had. And while it was a very self-centered thought, I was afraid of what would happen when Fal found out. How would she react if I told her I had broken up with Arietta? What if I told her I had made amends with her? Chris! Huh? When I snapped back to reality, I found Forney peering at my face with a look of concern. I'd woken up just after noon, and hadn't felt like doing anything. Before I knew it, evening had arrived. Had she been worrying about me all day? Her expression was unusually bleak. It told me she was seriously concerned about me. You haven't eaten anything since you woke up. I'll eat something when I get hungry. Excuse me. I wasn't as depressed as Forney might have thought. There was nothing wrong with my health. I just felt unbelievably sluggish. I was overcome by a sense of irritation that did not exist when I was with Fal or Torta. Because today was Sunday, my recollections of Ari were far more vivid, and I was waiting for a letter that would never arrive. Or was I? Today, I endlessly repeated such questions to myself. If I went to the mailbox right now, and there was a letter from Ari inside, would I be happy? Unless that actually happened, I would never know. Okay, never mind then. Sorry. Don't apologize, cheer up instead. It would make me feel a lot better. Maybe I should go check the mailbox then. Will there be a letter? No, probably not. Then why bother? Because I want to check. I went to check the mailbox for reasons that Forney wouldn't find convincing. There's not going to be anything there, man. Playing with the lid of the mailbox, I checked and confirmed its emptiness numerous times, then finally went back to my room. I repeated this process several times until it had gotten dark out. In the end, Forney never brought up our usual Sunday ensemble. She was simply there for me until I fell asleep, acting as though the letter never existed, acting as though she had forgotten all about our tradition. I'd gone to such lengths to obtain approval from Fal to get the day off, and I ended up wasting it just like that. Whew. That's heavy. And now cheerful music. This morning marked the second time I had gone to the Institute on a Monday without sending anything. My life here would probably come to an end before I'd have the chance to get used to this routine. The original plan was to complete our graduation recital, then return to our hometown right after the graduation ceremony. So the letters would have ended there, no matter what had or hadn't happened. Under normal conditions, today might have been my last, I thought, as I glanced at the mailbox, not with regret, but with a sense of sentimentality. Good morning! Good morning. That cheerful voice. The time I spent practicing with Fal. I realized I had completely gotten used to this cycle that I'd unconsciously wandered into. The scent lingering in the practice room calmed my mind. It wasn't just the scent though. Simply the fact that she was here gave me peace of mind. And my feelings of guilt adjoining that peace of mind progressively became stronger. The letter I didn't send, and the letter that didn't arrive. It was another Blue Monday. What's wrong? You look kind of down. Are Mondays hard on you? Sort of. And you had the day off yesterday. Did you get enough sleep? That's not really it. Then... After my bitter reply, Fal was about to ask the reason, but quickly shut her lips again. Perhaps it was intuition. She was pretty sharp after all. She might have already realized. Fal knew about Ari's breakup letter I received on the Sunday of last week. So she must have been thinking that something had happened yesterday, even though nothing actually did. I didn't receive a letter from Ari, nor did I write one to her, but still, it cast a shadow over my heart. Care to start practicing? You'll be able to get your mind off of things if you concentrate on practice. You don't want to? No, you're right. Thanks. Sorry to have you constantly concerned over me about such trivial matters. That's okay. It was a good chance to get you to focus on the rehearsal anyway. Yeah. After all, I'm always slacking, right? If you believe that, then come on. Practice! We only have 5 days left. Val urged me to start by clapping her hands, exactly like the teacher of the music classes I used to attend. I did as I was instructed and set myself up in the prescribed position, then rested my fingers on the foretell. I opened the score sheet on the first page and shifted my gaze toward Val. Our eyes met and we synchronized our breathing. Oh no, if I'm actually gonna have to do this is gonna be like really hard. I might fail a lot because, again, haven't recorded this in over a year. I apologize. When we both felt that we were ready, I used the first notes as a sign to start. Oh, okay. Whenever a performance got going, my hands would start moving of their own accord. While my hands wouldn't withdraw from the keyboard, the music progressed beyond my awareness. It was like I was watching the scene from afar. But today, I did not experience the usual exhilaration amidst this heart-wrenching atmosphere. All I could do was wish that the music would never end. Those powerful emotions manifested themselves into my notes and shook my body and soul. As the piece came closer to the end, the emotions grew ever stronger until finally it was all over. I didn't realize this at first, but was snapped out of my trance shortly. It was the girl's words that dragged my consciousness from somewhere beyond my body back to reality. Chris! What is it? I'm not sure what to say, but... Her eyes wandered about in hesitation for a moment until she finally gathered her resolve and continued. Your performance just now was amazing. Thanks. It was admiration from the bottom of her heart, or something like that. Val looked at me with sultry eyes, and made no attempt to avert them even after I noticed. I wonder what was so different about that. Along with those words, Val suddenly looked away. Sadness spread across her face and she went silent. Huh. What's wrong? What was different? My song and your foretell. Well, they're two completely different things in the first place. I didn't mean it like that. I'm talking about a more fundamental level. I said this before, right? That I was missing something. Yeah. I could feel it in your tones. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but I definitely felt it. I see. Something you have that I don't. Val murmured to no one in particular. At that point, a fundamental aspect of the foretell came to mind. Maybe it's magic. Magic? As in what's needed to play the foretell? Never mind. That was a stupid thought. That's what makes song and foretells completely different in the first place. Hey, what do you suppose magic really is? I tried to cover up my stupidity, but Val interrupted me with a question. Well, I've learned about it in class, and I know it hasn't been accurately, elucidated yet. But I was wondering, what is magic to you? Is this something only foretellists can understand? Do you, I don't know, sense that you can use magic? No, it happens completely unconsciously, I think. In my case, the only reason I found out was because there happened to be a foretell in the music classroom I used to attend. Whoopsie. When I touched it, sound came forth. Did you Or did you do or feel anything special? Sorry. I don't remember doing anything in particular. As for feeling something, I'm not sure, really. So we're back to square one, Val said with a resigned smile. Seeing that, I felt obligated to say something to her. Was I supposed to tell her about how I'd felt magic was my emotion that time I performed with Forney? But then, it was a problem about a clear answer. I decided to bring it up anyways, in the hopes that I could raise her spirits a bit. But there's an interesting theory I feel I can sympathize with. What kind of theory? A theory that magic is emotion. It was just something an instructor mentioned in passing, though. It wasn't in any textbooks. Emotion. I've heard about that, actually. Anger, delight, sadness, that kind of stuff, according to that instructor. Does that mean you... Val shut her lips again, as though immediately hiding something that had jumped to her mind. You weren't going anywhere beyond the fact that such a theory exists, right? Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Now it was my turn to recall something. That day when I was completely unable to feel the thing I believed Val to be missing, as though the final piece of the puzzle had fallen into place. At the time, she must have been going through hardships, and she must have felt sadness. After a long, long silence, Val looked at me with a completely different expression than she had been wearing until now. Chris. I was taken aback by that expression for a moment. Chris, do you feel sorrowful right now? She'd probably recognize the emotions mingled in with my tones correctly. Just as how I'd been able to feel the sense of parting from Forney's song. No, I lied, and took a step backward to widen the distance between us, as I felt we were standing far too close for comfort. Val, in turn, took a step forward to close the gap again and continued. As for me, At a distance, our breath grazed each other's cheeks. She looked at me with burning eyes. I felt this wasn't right, but I didn't move. All it took for me was one more step, and I would be past the point of no return. I loathed myself for no longer thinking this was something I shouldn't do, and stronger desires took control over my mind. Is it happening? The girl abruptly closed her eyes and inched even closer, or ever closer. It was as though my hands no longer belonged to myself, as I brought them up to caress her cheek. But at that moment, oh, of course, something has to interrupt. She snapped out of it simultaneously, or we snapped out of it simultaneously, and Val cast down her deep red face. Hey. Yeah? Forget it. Let's forget about this. Nothing ever happened, okay? Sure. Val gathered the sheets she had dropped on the floor in a panic, wiping off the dust from them, never meeting my gaze. I still couldn't move, and kept watching on in a daze. If those sheets had never dropped to the floor, I would certainly have... Anyway, we still have until noon. Let's get cracking. Yeah. Are you hungry? We could eat something before we start. No, I'm still fine. Really? Okay then. Oh, we were so close! With us both still shaken by what happened earlier, our practice session afterward had hardly been productive. I saw Val off in the hallway as she left for work, but my heart was still beating rapidly and I couldn't get myself to calm down. I was hesitant to think too much about these newly flared-up emotions, or to put them into words. I unconsciously whispered the name of a certain other girl, and suddenly recalled that she had written, or what she had written in her letter. Had Ari been aware it would come to this? Even so, I believe you will come to understand Falsita one day. If, by then, you could find it in your heart to forgive me, then that is all I could ever ask for. The 17th. Oh boy. Here we go. I hadn't been able to settle down after yesterday's incident. I don't blame you. If I opened the door before me, Fal would be there. She would probably smile and say good morning. This process would undoubtedly continue until the graduation recital. I hadn't abandoned my responsibilities to a point where I could feel genuinely happy about that quite yet. But when I stood before the practice room like this, and imagined Fal on the other side, my heart began to race, and I could no longer stifle my excitement. I took a deep breath and smoothed out my appearance before opening the door. "Good morning," I called out as I stepped in, but it was quite the letdown to find no reply forthcoming. Maybe she's not here yet. It was still 5 minutes shy of the appointed time. But Fal normally arrived long before me. I decided to prepare my score sheets and foretell in the meantime. As I tapped the pile of sheets on my lap to straighten it out, yesterday's events came back to me vividly. If back then, those sheets had not fallen to the floor by accident, I wondered if I would have kissed her. The answer was pretty clear. The facts hadn't come forth due to a coincidental event, and the truth existed in my heart, and it had already given me the answer, which was why I repeated the same excuses in my mind. Ari knew me better than I did myself. She had accurately pinpointed what would happen to me. Knowing that, she responded accordingly by sending me the letter that would end our relationship. Please forgive me. Ah, Chris, good morning. Oh, good morning. It's pretty rare for you to be late. I was talking to Miss Cordell for a bit. Since everything will be over after this week, she was making a round of her students to check how they were doing. And she wanted to hear our performance again this afternoon. Why did she ask you? Could it be that she doesn't trust me? I just ran into her by chance. Did you have some business in the main building? Sort of. I had to run an errand for one of the instructors. Wait, what? Did you have to copy something again? Bingo. Even with the recital coming up? I only had to make 5 copies, though. The amount is kind of besides the point here. I'm getting off of work from work earlier than usual anyway, so there's no problem, really. I can get these things done before I go to sleep. Then what's the point of getting off from work early in the first place? Don't worry. They know about the circumstances when they entrust these things to me. Okay, although I think there's a limit to diligence. Just think of it as being part of my nature and give up. Well, if you say so, then I'll shut up about it. But I would have helped if you had asked me, you know. Really? Then I suppose I should have. Yeah, really. Have I ever refused to help you with anything? Good point. Then I guess I'll ask you next time. No, please refuse yourself next time. We both laughed. After that, the atmosphere thankfully never became awkward. Fal didn't appear to be forcing herself to cover up what happened yesterday. She had fully accepted it, and had a smile plastered on her face. Our relationship had evidently changed. I would no longer let Ari get in between Fal and I anymore. By now, I might as well admit that I had fallen in love with her. Finally! You admit it! You admit it! Ah! Then prepare yourselves and begin immediately. She concisely barked some orders in a fashion typical of Miss Cordell. Since we had practice this morning, my body was already loosened up. Ready any time. So am I. Miss Cordell seemed a bit surprised at my words at first, then smiled for some reason. Is something the matter? No, nothing. I just thought I heard something unusual coming from you. What was unusual about it? Because normally you would say something like, yeah, I'm sort of ready, I guess. Just kidding. Or not. Anyway, don't worry about it. Begin. Okay then. I was aware of the changes in my mental state, but when it was said to my face like that, I still sort of felt like denying it. Sorry, I apologize, but please begin because I don't have all day. There are still many students I need to check up on. Alright, I'm gonna save here real quick. Because I'm probably, like, if it happens, I'm gonna fail for sure, so got it. Hearing Miss Cordell apologize was a first for me. Nonetheless, it seemed she sincerely was short on time, so I stopped being stubborn and brought my fingers to the keyboard. Yep, here we go. Shoot. Okay, I did it. Oh my god. I did it! Oh, I drank a coffee. We finished the performance. It went pretty well. I could tell myself that it was, or I could tell myself that it was a satisfactory result. Okay, got it. I thought she would have had more to say than that, but she went silent and looked at me for a while. Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Okay. In any case, today's practice session wasn't over yet. When I turned around to look at Val, I found she was staring at me with the same look in her eyes as Miss Cordell had. Val? What is it? Nothing. Is something wrong? No, it's nothing. Shall we get ready to go? I nodded, with renewed vigor. I followed the girl's example and swiftly began packing up myself. Goodbye. Thank you very much for today. Thank you very much. It's the final stretch. Use your time effectively. We understand. If even you understand, then I guess there's nothing for me to worry about. Yeah, yeah. Well then. Chris. Just after Fel had stepped out, I was stopped by a voice behind me. Yes, ma'am? Did something happen? A lot of things happened, I guess. I see. Good. Is that so? Oh, by the way, did you hear anything about Asino's partner yet? Yeah, I'm seeing him next. He settled on a partner at the last possible moment, but he'll do fine. He's a smooth operator. I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Then, if you'll excuse me. What was up? Val asked as I came out of the room, probably wondering why it took so long. Oh, nothing. Miss Cordell wanted a final word with me. About what? She was asking if something had happened to me, that's all. I see. But if that was really all, it sure took you a long time. I asked her about Asino as well. He finally got a partner. I was a little worried, but Miss Cordell assured me that he was doing fine. I see. Good for him. Yeah. So, what shall we do today? Huh? Aren't we going to keep rehearsing? I mean, after that. Shall we grab a bite to eat somewhere? I wouldn't mind coming over to your place either. That's... no good? No, it might be nice. Then it's settled. We went to your place before, so how about my room this time? Either place is fine with me. As long as I get to be with you. Ooh. Okay, then that's settled as well. Care to call off practice early today? We really shouldn't, you know. That's not like you. But you're right. It'll be tastier after we've practiced properly. Let's leave it at that then. Not sure about the first part of that statement, though. Val laughed spontaneously and walked off in the direction of the practice room. I was unable to suppress my feelings of joy as I stood there watching her retreating figure. Okay, it's the 18th. I awoke comfortably in the morning. Until yesterday, I had been afraid of admitting my feelings. Today, it somehow seemed brighter than usual outside. I wondered if the rain would be weak today. I stretched out on my bed and recalled the events of yesterday. Beyond my finally giving in, there was Fal's gentle smile. Morning! Looks like you were able to wake up by yourself today. Yeah, morning. What's more, you look so more refreshed. That might actually be true. What are you acting all aloof for? This is about yourself, isn't it? A good point. Yeah, it is true. Oh, a definitive statement. Yeah. I see. What? Never mind. It's nothing. Forney. Never mind. It's nothing. Forney repeated herself and smiled. Good for you. It's better than having gloom across your face all day. Did I ever look that depressed? That's what I said, right? My eyes don't deceive me. I'm sorry. About what? About the things up until now, and the things to come. I never mentioned Arietta's name, but it seemed Forney comprehended. Did you forget what she wrote in her letter? You should do as you wish. If that was my answer, she would probably say she was fine with it. I remember. Thanks for reminding me. Thanking me isn't going to get you anywhere, Forney said cynically and pointed at the clock. If you're up this early anyway, why don't you head out early and practice some more? Okay, I suppose I'll do just that. What? You're really going? What? I just felt like complimenting you for a commendable feat. It had been a while since I'd exchanged idle chit-chat with Forney like this. I had a feeling today was going to be a good day. After quickly finishing my preparations and heading out, I noticed the rain had been reduced to a comfortable drizzle. In line with my premonition this morning, my performance today had been excellent as well. My fingers had ran smoothly across the keyboard, and every single note I'd played had been clear. Time elapsed quickly like that, and before I knew it, it was already past noon. But, hey Chris, are you not feeling well today? Val asked me with a puzzled look on her face. Huh? Was something off? No, that's not it. I didn't make any mistakes in particular. I didn't think it was that bad, actually. Yeah, I think so too. Huh? Sorry, it might just have been my imagination. Oh, come on. I hope that's true. Yeah, sorry for judging you when I wasn't even sure of it myself. No, that's okay. If you feel something sounds weird, don't hold back and to tell me. Got it. Then, mind if we resume practice after I get off from work tonight? I know I just said that you shouldn't hold back, but that's a bit... It's sort of bothering me, especially because we only have 2 days left. At first, I thought she was playing with me again, but she seemed to be pretty serious about it. I quickly corrected myself. If that's what you meant, then sure. Any place is fine. Really? Of course. In return, will you make me a nice meal? If you feel that to be enough for payment. It would be all I could ever wish for. That sounded kind of corny. Was it that weird? Yeah, sorta. That's mean. Didn't you say yourself I shouldn't hold back if something sounded weird to me? There's a difference in meaning. I guess so. Val burst out laughing, which soon affected me as well. I never thought we would be able to have natural conversations like this. But it was nice. I was satisfied with the current situation. I had left some people in sadness, but there was simply no way to make everybody happy. There was no such thing as going an ideal route. There were only several good ones. Exactly, which is why I am not that worried about making everybody happy. If you don't like me, you don't like me, you know? Can't make everybody happy. If you want to be mad about something, go ahead, go be mad, die frickin' mad for all I care. I'm just gonna do me. I weighed those out, and chose the one I felt would provide the best possible outcome. Or, I tried to. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys, so if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below, and don't forget to subscribe, because that would mean the world to me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!